my boys and girls. This is Miss Brianne, and welcome back to our Let's Get Ready program. And this is the series where we have monthly meetings for all our students in grades preschool all the way up to 3rd grade in order to teach them skills needed to succeed in elementary school, like print recognition, choosing just right books, phonics and phonemic awareness, spelling and vocabulary, letter recognition, scissor skills, handwriting, and all that neat stuff. Now, this program here is geared towards students who are in 1st grade and want to acquire those skills that are needed in order to succeed in 1st grade and move on to 2nd grade, as well as 2nd grade students who just want a review of what they learned the year previously. So, now this month we are going to focus again on handwriting, so I have a cool little activity for you to practice your handwriting with, but we will do that later on. Before we do that, we're going to be reading a couple of easy reader books. And again, they're going to be 2 simple easy reader books. But I just want you to be aware that the further along we progress in the series, the more difficult the books will get. And pretty soon, so the books will get more difficult, and we may even be able to read only one book once that happens. But you don't have to worry about that right now. Right now, the books we are going to be reading today are very simple. So I got some cool books to share with you today, and it's about fun stuff. So, with that being said, are we ready to begin? Okay. So, we have a Step Into Reading book first I'm going to be showing you a Step Into Reading book, which, by the way, is a registered trademark of Random House, Inc. But this book is called Robot Gobot. Sounds like rhyming words, right? What do you think, boys and girls? Do you think you'll be able to follow along with me? Alright, this is a very simple one. And it's written in comic form. So it's going to be a lot of fun to read. Right, boys and girls? Alright, so, Robot Gobot. The author is Dana Meachen Rau. Now, the author is the person who writes the words to the story. The illustrator is Wook Jin Jung. And the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures in the story. And then we have the publisher, which is that company that puts the book together puts the book all together and sends it to the bookstores to sell. And the publisher for this book is, let me see, Random House Children's Books, which is a division of Random House, Inc. Alright, with that being said, are we ready to begin? Okay, here we go. So we come across a girl, and it looks like she's looking at boxes of stuff. What do you think they are, boys and girls? Well, it looks like it's a box of all like old technology and computer parts. What do you think she's going to do with those parts, boys and girls? Well, if you say build a robot, you are probably right, judging by the title of the story. So, in the next panel here, it looks like she's putting all those parts together. And then it looks like she finished it and it's complete, and it is a robot. So the girl is, take a look at the girl's face. How do you think she's feeling? like, do you think she's sad? Probably not. Do you think she's mad? Maybe not. I don't think so. Do you think she's happy? Yeah, she's definitely happy. And why do you think she's happy? Well, maybe because she has a new friend. Well, let's see what happens. So, it looks like she's pressing a button, and she says, and if you notice, read along with me, go, bot! So, let me teach you a word right now. Who knows the letter sound for B? If the letter sound for B is B. What is the letter sound for O? Do you remember? Well, the letter sound for O is A. And then, do you know what the letter sound for T is? Well, the letter sound for T is T. So, you put them all together and it's B-A-T, 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 B-A-T. Say it faster. But, bot. So it's bot. Alright, good job, boys and girls. So it looks like the robot is doing all sorts of fun activities. What is he doing next? Well, it looks like he's blowing bubbles. So, and the girl's saying bubble, blow, bot. Bubble, blow, bot. Remember, b-at, bot. And if you remember that, you can all read along with me, boys and girls. What do you think the robot's going to do next? Well, let's read to find out. Throw, everybody, bot. So it looks like now they're playing catch. Row, bot. And now they're rowing a book. So they're doing all these cool things. They're blowing bubbles, they're playing catch, the robot's throwing the ball and the girl is catching it, and then they're rowing a boat. Aren't those neat ideas? And they look like cool summer activities, right, boys and girls? Do you do things like this in the summer? Well, let's see what else they can do. Oh, look, what do you think the girl is pretending to be? Looks like she may be pretending to be a pirate, or she's being the captain of the boat. But in any event, she says, and if you notice, read along with me, yo ho ho, bot. So, bot. So it looks like they're putting together, the robot's now putting together a cowboy hat for the girl. And then once he finishes it, what is he doing next? Looks like he's pretending to be a horse. And the girl's going to ride the horse. Whoa! Bot! Looks like he moved a little too fast. Now what does it look like they're doing? Looks like they're reading in the dark. Have you ever read in the dark, boys and girls, with a flashlight? Do you think that's a cool idea? let's see. Make it glow. Bot. Oh, it looks like now they're planting a garden. Or the robot's doing all the work while she sits and watches. But in any event, ho, bot, grow, bot. So it looks like the robot's digging up the dirt to plant the seeds, and he's keeping all those seeds watered so that they grow into plants. What do you think, boys and girls? Is that really fair? Probably not. And now it looks like he's mowing the lawn, so cutting the grass. Mow, mow. And he's still mowing while she's playing on the swing set. Mow, bot. Now the girl's sitting on the wagon and is expecting the robot to pull the wagon. Go, bot. And he's pulling the wagon. Tow, bot. What do you think? Do you think the bot's going to eventually stop doing what the girl asks? What do you think, boys and girls? What do you think? Should we keep going? Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. Oh! And it looks like he doesn't want to do any more. Doesn't want to do what she asks anymore. Because she's not helping, is she, boys and girls? But don't say no. But. And now the robot's walking away. Oh no, what do you think's going to happen? Well, let's see. So now the girl has nobody to help to pull the wagon for her. Nobody to help row the boat. And there's no more extra parts. So she's trying to look for a robot friend. Robot? Let's see what happens. Robot! How do you think she's feeling now? Well, it looks like she's feeling really sad now, right, boys and girls? Will she ever find her robot friend? Well, let's see. Oh, it looks like she finally found a robot friend, and he's feeling sad too. Come on home, Bot. And now she's pushing him on the swing. Go, Bot. And that is the end of the story. What do you think about that, boys and girls? Was that a cool story? Well, let me ask you this question. If you had a robot friend, would you do things together? Or would you do what the girl did and have the robot do everything else for you? What do you think? Well, as the girl learns, she learned that it's better to do things together than to have somebody else do all the work. But anyway, this was a great story. I hope you enjoyed it. But what do you say? Is it time to move on to our next story? Alright, so we got another fun story. This one's not about robots. It's actually the opposite of robots. And this book is called George the Knight. Now, and this is a Tadpole, a book in the Tadpole series. So for the Tadpole series, the editor is Jackie Hamley, and the editor for the book is Reagan Miller. The advisors for the series are Dr. Hilary Minns and Catherine Glavina. And the designer for the series is Kathy Middleton. No, wait, the series for the designer is Peter Scoulding, and the project coordinator is Kathy Middleton. Now, the author of this book, George the Knight, is Leon Reed. The illustrator is Clare Elsom. And the publisher is Crabtree Publishing Company. Alright, with that being said, are we ready to begin? Alright, here we go. And if you know some of these words, you can feel free to read them with me. And I may even have you recite them first. George is a knight. You are, what's that say, boys and girls? Not a knight. Where, what's this? Is your sword. So it looks like his older brother's saying, wait a minute, how can you be a knight without a sword? What do you think George is going to do? Do you think he's going to look for a sword, or will he make one? Well, let's find out. Oh, so it looks like he's putting together a sword. That's a cool way to solve a problem, right, boys and girls? Well, let's see what happens next. Do you think his older brother will think he's a knight now? Well, let's see. Now, George, what does that say, boys and girls? Has a sword. So now George feels he's definitely a knight because now he has the armor and a sword. What kind of adventures is he going to go on? Or will his older brother think he's a knight now? Do you think George needs anything else to be a knight? Well, let's find out. You are, what does that say, boys and girls? Not a knight. Where, what's this word? Is your shield. Uh-oh, George is missing it. He has his sword, but he's missing his shield. So now his big brother doesn't think he's a knight. What do you think George is going to do? Do you think he's going to make a shield like he made a sword? Well, let's find out. Well, it looks like George is putting together a shield. Looks like he's using an old trash can lid. What do you think? Is that a good idea for a shield, boys and girls? let's see what happens. Now, George, what's this word? Has a shield. So now George has a sword and a shield. Will his brother think he's a knight now? Or do you think George is missing something else? Should we read on to find out? Well, let's see. Oh, looks like his brother doesn't believe he's a knight. You are, what's this word again, boys and girls? Not a knight. Where, what's that word? Is your horse. So now the brother says he's missing a horse. What do you think? Do you think this is going to be a little bit harder problem to solve? Could he just make a horse? Not sure. That may be a little trickier, boys and girls, but why don't we turn the page to find out? Oh! Looks like he has an idea. Looks like he has a riding scooter with a horse head. So it looks like he's probably going to put something together to make a horse. That's a great solution, right, boys and girls? And look at all these cool toys he has. I'm sure he'll find something. But let's move on. Do you think the brother's going to think he's a knight now? Well, let's see. Brother looks impressed. Wow, George! Now you are a knight. So it looks like the brother believes now George has everything he needs to be a knight. Cool, huh? And that is the end of the story. Now, parents, a good thing about these Tadpole books is that they have, at the end, they have notes for adults that gives you pointers on how to encourage your children to read. Plus, it also has fun little games at the end, such as Puzzle Time, which is, they give you some pictures to the book, and your child would just show you where these pictures came from. But anyway, these are great books to practice your reading skills on, and they're about cool topics. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed these stories. I certainly enjoyed reading them to you. But what do you say, boys and girls? Is it time to move on to our activity now? All right. So, as I mentioned before, we are going to practice handwriting skills again. But this is not going to be pencil and paper handwriting skills. You're going to be practicing your handwriting on something completely different. Now, raise your hand if you've ever painted before. Alright, if you painted letters before, raise your hand. Alright, has anybody painted with water before? Some of you may have painted with water, some of you may not. I haven't painted with water yet, and I'm an adult. But you're going to be practicing your handwriting by painting with water. How about that? And parents, since it's just water, there's really, all you gotta do is maybe clean up a little bit of a water spill. Though I would advise you to practice this in a play area, or maybe even outside, which I will get to a little later. But all it is simple water and a paintbrush. And it also, parents, it also helps improve those fine motor skills needed for handwriting. Because they're going to be holding the paintbrush in the exact same manner as holding a pencil. Now, before I demonstrate how to do this technique, I'm just going to let you know that this project idea was from the website This Little House of Mine. So if you're interested in this activity as well as other similar activities, please click on the web link in the video description. Alright, but in any event, I'm just going to zoom into my work area so I can show you how to use the water paint. Alright, so when you register for this program, you will receive a craft kit with the following materials. A couple of pieces of dark colored cardstock paper. But what you also will need is a paintbrush and water. And you should also have some paper towels as well. So here's how you practice your handwriting. You take one of your sheets of cardstock, you take your paintbrush, you dip it in the water, and then you can start by drawing random shapes and lines to warm up. Looks like you can see that, though it does dry quickly, so it will disappear. So you can just draw simple lines and shapes just to warm up. You can do little swirls. Like I said, you can start by doing this for a little bit. This is just a warm up. And once you feel like you've warmed up your hand, then you can move on to the actual letters. Now, and you could do capital A. And I'm doing this completely upside down because I'm showing you how it works. You can try painting a B or a C or even the letter D or maybe even the letter E. And it looks like it's visible. It's going to be visible for a few minutes, but as the paper starts to dry, it will start to disappear. And boys and girls, this is actually a cool way to maybe write invisible messages. How about that? Water can almost serve as an invisible ink. But if you want to do a handwriting activity with invisible ink, let me know and I will think of something in the next time we do handwriting in our Let's Get Ready program. Now parents, you can either let your child draw whatever letters he wants, capital or lowercase, and maybe have them recite the letter, or you can do something, for example, maybe you can write a letter, parents, and then have your child copy it. Or you can write the capital and ask them to write the lowercase version of it. Like so. It's a lowercase a and here's a lowercase b. But isn't that a neat idea? And if you really want to get challenging, maybe, boys and girls, you can use this to write a message. For example, I'm going to write, hello, exclamation point, how And sorry if this is a little crazy because like I said, I am doing this upside down to demonstrate. And it'll eventually disappear. But it does leave a kind of impression once it disappears. So you see if you can try and decipher it once it dries up. And like I said, it's kind of almost like an invisible ink. But isn't that neat? You can write a message, watch it disappear, and see if your friends and your family can figure out the message that was written. Now, as I said before, you can do this on simple cardstock or maybe even regular paper if it's dark enough. I wouldn't do this on plain white computer paper because you're not going to be able to see it. But dark colored paper is great, but you can also practice this on with painting with water and other materials such as like a chalkboard. And parents, this would be a cool idea. You write the letter and they can go over it with water. How cool is that? Or, if you really want a fun idea, you can paint on your driveway or your sidewalk outside. How about that? Isn't that a great idea, boys and girls? The thing is, water is very versatile, so you can use a variety of different surfaces to practice your handwriting on and paint with water. And it's something different than just pencil and paper, right, boys and girls? So take a minute or two to see if you can practice your writing and maybe even write a message. Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed this activity. I certainly enjoyed teaching it to you. And in your craft kits for this program, you're going to have some handwriting sheets that you can practice at your own convenience. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's program. I certainly enjoyed it. I am looking forward to next month. But until then, please check out all the other programs that myself and the other children's librarians here have to offer at the West Hampton Free Library for the summer. Looking forward to seeing you in the next program. But until next time, this is Miss Brianne saying take good care of yourselves. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next program.